Good evening, good afternoon, or good morning, depending from where you're watching us from. This is Oscar, your host for tonight's regatta, and it is going to be the K Championship Knockout 17, the 17th in the K Championship Series. Race has already started, so let's switch over to that scene. And, this knockout, and after that, just two more to go before we reach the grand final in the K Championship. Tonight is going to be sailed in the Flying 75, same format as usual, so 4 races with the 12 players that you see on your screen right now. And after that, it's going to be the medal race with just the top 4, medal race worth double the points. And the winner will qualify for the grand final as we have 20 seconds to go. It's going to be 4 races in the same course, so it's going to be an upwind, downwind, downwind finish with gates windward and leeward. And I just saw Moose Bite. Thank you for the follow. Hope you're doing well. And there we have it. So a couple of false starts over here for GBR 931 and $1 Million from Greece over there. We have Schleg taking first place or second place, as I say that. On the left over here, on the right top over there is going to be FR7493. And Mwimwi, the Japanese, is back in the knockouts, taking first place from Schleg for a brief moment. And we have returning names. Mwimwi is one of them, Schleg is one of them, Twin Wakes, one of them, ESP Pablo, Jozuts, Scavaruzzo, Cold Beer, GBR 931, all these names we've seen already. SRB 21670, you've seen him before as well. This is actually Lazar Kozik, or Lizard as some of them call him in the community. Changes boat name to SRB 2167. And a few new ones in the knockouts, FR7493, J Boats, $1 Million. And there we have it. And Captain Paku, nice to see you in the chat. Encore à faire des lives le dimanche soir. We never stop. We never stop. I hope you're doing well, Paku. It's been a while. I'm doing good. Thank you for asking. How are you? And as we see it, Mwimwi taking the lead over there. On the left, it's going to be an easy straight line for him to the leeward gates. And those of you in the chat, I'm going to ask you who the top 4 you think will be at the end for the knockouts. Good to see you. You're doing well, Captain Paku. It's been a while since I've seen you live as well. Hopefully you'll take that up soon again. Comment ça va, VR? Well, Virtual Regatta is doing okay. So we had the Transat Café Law starting just earlier this afternoon. So if you haven't registered, go have a look on Virtual Regatta Offshore. We had the knockout 1 of the Eastling World Championship in on Saturday. And yes, that'd be great, Captain Paku. That'd be great. So what can we say? Mwimwi is still far in the league. Schleg, is fighting for 3rd place with ESP Pablo coming in sneaking in 2nd over here. Tiens au jeu, bien évidemment. Cool. Ça fait longtemps, hein. Faut que tu stream. And looks like Mwimwi's going to take first place, and let's follow these 2 boats over here, Schleg and Pablo. See which one of them is going to take the 2nd spot. Looks like Pablo is slightly in front of Schleg. With Twin Wakes is going to take 4th place right in front of Jozuts, but we might have 5th place on the top, or 6th place for FR7493. That's going to be first place for Mui, second for Pablo, third for Schleg. Twin Wakes takes fourth. Jozut's going to take fifth. FR is going to take six. SRB is going to take seven, maybe. I think SRB takes seven. GBR takes eight. Cold Beer in 10, and then it's going to be between $1 Million and Scavaruzzo, but Scavaruzzo is going to reach that finish line first. This is the end of race number 1. And, well, that makes it a specialty, so you want to do a minimum tax as possible with this boat. Try to find the shift that will make you go up as much as it can to try to avoid attack at the boundaries, and obviously the boundaries being the white lines that you're going to see on the side of the race, of course, that you cannot touch, otherwise you're going to be slowed down for 10 seconds. With a minute to go, our winner of the previous race was Mui, so let's follow what he does in the starting procedure. There's going to be a point where Mui is going to end up winning one of these because he's been in so many. And he definitely has the level. "20 seconds to go when we're recovering from a penalty." Mainly going out of the penalty, it's going to be Twin Wakes currently taking first spot. On the left, we see the fleets dividing itself into two positions. Those trying to get the wind. On the top of your screen over there, you see the darker paths and the darker shadows on the water. This means that there's more pressure in these areas, so you want to try to get into these. You see Twin Wakes going at 30 knots, Mui going at 34.6 knots. So that's a 5-knot difference between the two of them as Twin Wakes is starting to slow down and now picking up speed again as he enters the wind pressure. All the boats coming in on the right on starboard with the wind on starboard, so he has to duck down and avoid if he wants to avoid taking a penalty. Unfortunately, cannot avoid Cold Beer over here, and is going to be slowed down for 10 seconds. Just above him, SRB 21201. I'm just going to call him Lizard. Lizard at the top over here, taking third place, is going to be crossing the fleet on starboard, so he will be having the right of way. If him and Mui collide, Mui will slow down, but Mui manages to pass just in front of him. Both of them are going to have to tack, and Mui's going to come on starboard, so he will have the right of way. ESP Pablo coming in fast as well right behind him. Mui deciding to go on the mark of the left. SRB decides to go on the right. And it's going to be a chase between these two boats. So with the foiling boats like the Flying 75, the boat is going to be faster than the wind. So the wind shadow and the downwind especially is actually still going to stay behind or next to the boat, and not in front like you're usually used to with other sailing boats. So the strategy is going to be very different. And being in front actually gives you, well, this huge advantage because you can better control the fleet, and with the boat behind you, you're going to be slowing them down as well. When we're going at 44.6 knots, I don't know if ESP Pablo is in his wind shadow, but I don't think so. And again, so far a clean race by Mui. Will SRB be able to take the first spot from him? We've seen Schleg in third in the first race, currently 7th. He was in the medal series, in the medal race, the last knockout, arriving 2nd overall. And we'll I think Mui is going to be in a pretty safe spot for his first place in this knockout. As we see Schleg tacking over here. He's going to be on port side for Josuts, but Josuts tacking right beneath him. And Mumi is going to be rounding this mark first again. SRB is getting very close to Mumi over here, but Mumi still has a slight lead. ESP Pablo currently in third. Josuits currently takes fifth. ESP Pablo is going to take third indeed. Cold Beer is going to take fourth. He's going to need that fourth place after his first race arriving 10th. And who will be the one rounding up this first race is going to be J Boats, the French boat, right after GBR 931. And this is the results for the second race. Be a reminder, the top four only continue on to the medal race worth double the points, and the points carry on. As start procedure has been given for race number 3, let's switch over. And let's follow Schleg's boat for the start. With 39 seconds to go still. We're going to have higher winds over here. I think it's an average of 25 knots on the race course currently. Which Schleg currently being slowed down by all the wind shadows in front of him. We saw 18 knots for him, but as soon as he gets outside the wind shadow, it's back to 24 knots. A bit more. 7 seconds to go. A bit more cautious this time, looks like, for the players to avoid the false starts. We did see a couple of them in the first 2 races. And it is a go. Scafaruzo unfortunately does a false start. It's going to be ESP Pablo on first place after the gun. Mumi following him in close second. SRB deciding to go on the right over there straight with FR7493. Let's switch to these whose boat as FR7493 decides to tack. It's going to be arriving on the fleet on starboard, so again he's going to be having right of way if he cross paths with other boats. Twin Wakes over here avoiding him by ducking right under. Schleg is going to have to tack to avoid the penalty. ESP Pablo and Mumi other 2 boats just in front. Unfortunately, we see Josuits taking the 10 over here. By touching the boats on starboard. ESP Pablo is in the ley lines. The ley lines are the dotted lines that you see, which is the most direct path to the wind, to the mark, with taking the wind at the mark. And let's get closer to what's going to be happening over here. The fleet is bunched up together. We're going to be following the movements of the boat of FR7493. And he did a pretty good mark rounding over here, taking first place. We see Mumi in second over here. SRB is in fourth. Cold Beer in third. And was it Pablo after taking a penalty, now in fifth. FR7493 currently leading the fleets in the downwind over here. There's going to be another upwind, then another downwind into the finish. We'll be deciding to tack early to round this mark on the left. FR7493 decides to go on the right. And Mimi takes the lead with this mark rounding by choosing this mark over here. We'll see if it pays off in the long run. Right beneath him is SRB. Right beneath Miss SRB is going to be the Greek $1 Million ESP Pablo in the white boat, crossing paths with I think that's, I was going to say Twinwigs, but that's GBR, who climbed up to 4th. And Mimi taking the lead again. Who is going to take the lead between Wimwe and FR7493? Wimwe is the first one to start the downwind. Let's follow SRB as he rounds the mark. Currently in 6th. And Wimwe cannot reach the finish line in a straight line. He's going to have to tack again and will jibe again, and he does just that to keep control of FR7493. So it's going to be a first place again for Mumi, his 3rd tonight after 3 races. FR7493 takes 2nd spot. It's going to be GBR in 3rd, $1 Million in 4th, Cold Beer in 5th, SRB in 6th. 9 for Josuts. Well, we'll see how that translates for the finish line. Well, at the finish line. With Schleg unfortunately taking 12th position in this race. So last chance for the players to reach the top 4. It's going to be a 10-point lead to 2nd place, a 12-point lead to 3rd and 4th place for Mumwi. Meaning that he is in no matter what happens in the top 4. Not necessarily the winner, but he's in the medal race. ESP Pablo has a 6-point lead on 5th place. And a 5th place, which are Kolbir and Josuts, have a 4 points behind 4th place, who are FR7493 and SRB Lizard. So they need to make sure that they stay consistent in their sailing. 15 seconds to go. Let's go, Josuts, says RG Tyler. Nice to see you in the chat. Pablo currently fighting for first with Josuts. Kolbir deciding to tack on the right. Mwimwi is struggling to get out of the penalty over here. Drops down to 7th place. His worst start so far, but again, he won 3 races already in 3 races in the knockout. And it's going to be the 2 Spaniards with the Scavaruzzo leading the fleet so far. So we're dropping down to lighter winds again for race 4, I believe. It's 20 knots an average on the race course. So it's not going to be as shifty as what we had with the 18 knots, but it's going to be more shifty than what we had for like the 25 knots of wind. And well, even though Mwimwi started the first upwind in 7th, he's currently in 4th, but he's going to be dropping down the places again. As ESP Pablo is going to be the first one to round the mark and start the upwind. What a lead he has on the other boats. Cold Beer and FR7493 are going to be the ones following him. Colbeer's going to try to stay in the start patch that you see. As Amumi puts a penalty here on Lizard. Again, our top 4 currently overall are Mumui with 3 points, ESP Pablo with 13 points, FR7493 with 15 points, and SRB with 15 points as well. We see FR is currently in the lead, taking the lead from Pablo actually, who started this downwind first and is going to start the upwind possibly in third after Mumui takes second place from him. But we see how the upwind plays. We're going to have some very tricky winds ahead. If you look at the horizon over there, the dark patches coming in slowly, creeping in onto the course. These are going to be the wind shifts. So the wind is going to be moving quite a lot. FR currently within the ley line, so he should be able to round that mark in one tack. And as I say that, I jinx it, and he is going to have to tack again to reach the marks, as Amumi manages to sneak in front of Schleg, Pablo, and Twin Wakes. FR7493 taking the lead into the first. Downwind's going to be the first time Amumi does not win a race tonight. Well, anything could still happen, to be fair. Schleg in third is going to jibe into the ley lines. Mimui did gain a bit on FR7493. He's going, well, FR is going at 45.5 knots almost. Mimui 44.6. Actually, there's a knot difference, so FR is going to be taking the win in this last race before the Medal Series. Mimui takes second place. Schleg is in third, and let's see what is happening over here. Who is going to take fourth? Looks like it's going to be SRB just in front of $1 Million. Josuts might take 6. Cafaruto and 7. GBR 931 is going to be the one rounding up race number 3, and it's going to take a bit longer for me to put up the scores. We're going to tally up the scores, check that everything is correct, give the rolls to the top 4 only, as the top 4 will continue to the medal race, worth double the points again. And we'll have a look at who these 4 are. Our top 4 are the top 4 that you see at the top of the ranking on your screen. Mimui in first with just 5 points. 16 points for FR7493. 19 points for SRB 2001670. And then 4th place for ESP Pablo, 22 points. Schleg was just 2 points behind in 5th. Josuts 3 points behind in 6th with 25 points. And Colbeer, $1 Million, Twin Wakes, GBR, Scavaruzzo, and J-Boats. That is a 11-point lead for Mimui heading into the medal race. He has been dominating this this knockout, because even if he arrives last, that's going to be plus 8 points. So remember, medal race is worth double the points. So fourth place is 4 points times 2. That's 8 points. 5 plus 8 is going to make 13 points in total. So even if he arrives last, he wins. So it's going to be a battle for maybe the second place between FR and SRB. There's 3 points difference between the both. 3 points difference between the both of them. ESP Pablo is we're 6 points behind FR, so he can take second place for him. But we already know who our winner of Knockout 17 is going to be. And it's going to be the Japanese Muimui. Well, let's see how he fares in a fleet of 4. With just 35 seconds to go before the start procedure can launch. I think that's the second time, or maybe third time in the K Championship knockouts that we see a player starting the medal race having already won the knockout. And Nozata Costa in the chat saying no need to play medal. Well, we do indeed know who the winner is going to be. And I think that's FR7493 is the only one staying on starboard. Five seconds to go. Watch out with the false starts. FR didn't want to risk the false start and unfortunately had to slow down drastically to avoid it. And all of the 4 boats are going to be very close. Currently, Muimui's in 4th, but again, he's already won the knockout, so even arriving last is going to put him ahead of all the others in terms of points. SRB Lizard takes the lead so far. And well, all the boats are making more or less the same decisions after this first attack in the upwind. As they all tack into the ley lines, maybe SRB took a bit too much time to do that, and that's going to allow Pablo to maybe take the lead, though SRB has the inside. And is going to be rounding the mark alone on the right, while the others, well actually 2 of them, Muimui and SRB goes on the right, the other 2 decide to go on the left as ESP Pablo and FR7493, previously known as Moto 747. Or Trap Moto. Muimui not managing so far to come back into the top 3. We've seen him manage to do that in the previous races with all 12 boats. Well, we've seen him being 7th overall and ending the race in 2nd. Actually, would have been interesting to watch the leg charts for that race. But a clean race for Pablo so far. With Lazard or SRB very close to him still. And Muimui actually creeping onto the podium, taking 3rd from Trap Moto or FR7493. And Lazard was the only one with Drop Moto to be able to tack into the ley lines, or within the ley lines, for that windward gates. As they do the crisscross with ESP Pablo, who is going to take the win between SRB and Pablo here, starting this last downwind into the finish, well, towards the finish line. Pablo is going to be able to do it in just one jibe if the wind is nice to him. But we see SRB slowly gaining. And jibing right in front of him. So SRB is going to be taking the win in the medal race. Pablo is going to take second place, FR is going to take third, and Wimwi is going to take fourth. There we have it, everyone. Wimwi is our winner for tonight. What a performance he has put for us, arriving first in 3 races, second in the 4th, and well, he basically won the knockout before even playing the medal race. Second place goes to SRB with 21 points, so that's 8 points still behind the first Wimwi. SRB from Serbia, obviously. 22 points for the French FR7493 and 26 points for the Spanish ESP Pablo. A huge congratulations to Wimwi for qualifying for the grand final of the K Championship. We will see and stream the grand final in mid-December.